Eat the rich.
What we do here is go back.
So this guy named Cameron F305 just dropped a content cop on Ludwig, and I do have to say I'm a little bit at a crossroads here because as cringe as it is to try to pretend to be someone so hard, like he's trying so hard to be iDubbbz in this video. Like he even did the bait and switch where he called it the Hassan Piker content cop when in reality, oh shocker, he's making a content cop on Ludwig just to cement the fact that he can't have any original ideas of his own. iDubbbz did the exact same thing, naming the Rice Gum content cop Logan Paul. I don't want to misjudge him just because he is trying so hard to copy him, because he does have some valid criticism mixed in with a lot of nothing burgers. Like, I think a lot of the things he does are complaining about something so small that really has no impact on a career, and that kind of defeats the purpose of a content cop when you think about it, because these were really career-ending things, and it was really something to tell you, like, you shouldn't be making content anymore on this platform because you are so bad at it, when in reality, Ludwig has made some mistakes in the past, but nothing so big that it was like he should be canceled or something that he should end his career over, in my opinion at least. But before we get into that, you guys should like and subscribe, because if I hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, I'm gonna shave my head live on stream. I'm gonna let Ludwig take it away.
Let's up those numbers!
Anyways, the first criticism he has is on Froggen, which is just a controversial figure to say the least. She's really just a Hassan orbiter that has no career of her own other than the fact that she's carried by people talking about her. Like, she really doesn't get any monthly listeners or viewers in general. She kind of just exists in the news space because people talk about her, and that's really it. And I swear no one watches her. Really, no one really does. Anyway, he criticizes the way that Ludwig criticizes H3H3's response to her getting nominated a second time at the Streamer Awards for Rising Star. I know, that was a whole mouthful of a thing to say. Super convoluted, super nothing burger of a situation, but I'll let him take it away.
That he was going apeshit defending her over Ethan misspeaking about the order of which she won Rising Star of the Year.
Now, I tried messaging to deal with it offline, but this is just wrong. And not only like wrong information, it's like fake and doctored information. Is that he goes on to say, oh, she won an award and then got nominated the next year and then has a joke. This is a totally fake image. And when I did a bit of research, I did a reverse image search, I find out this fake image came from Destiny's subreddit a few months ago. To be clear, it is true that she was nominated in 2021 and lost, and then was again nominated 2022 and then won.
So she was nominated twice, but I think it's just so insane of H3H3 to take a screenshot from a Discord of another creator that is just not real and use it as if it is real. I think that's a super bad thing to do with your platform, and it is just so disingenuous to do. Anyways, that's really nothing. I don't think that should be a reason to cancel the guy for. I think it's such a small criticism. But one of the things that I do have to say is wrong with Ludwig's content and the way he acts and reacts to situations is that he is such a Hassan lover that he will not criticize him even if it is super valid and 100% worth it. Like, there was one point where Hassan made this very infamous thing that he said where streaming is harder than working a job. I know that's super out of context, but that's kind of what he was saying.
A real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will.
He isn't saying it's harder than working a job, but what he is saying is streaming is hard in a way that working a normal 9 to 5 is not. And I think that's just a super out of touch thing to say, considering the fact that you make millions and millions of dollars from streaming, and you shouldn't really be complaining about how hard your job is, because if you don't want to do it, you could take a few days off any day you want, any day of the week. You could just stop and come back and you'll still have a decent audience, especially if you're Hassan's size or Ludwig's size. So anyways, he finds it really important to note the fact that he took down his mogul mail after Hassan kind of was upset about the mogul mail itself, and super dick move by Hassan because he didn't even watch the full thing. Super watched a clip out of context as always and got mad at it as always, and it just made me so mad to see how Hassan reacted to this, because Ludwig really didn't say anything negative towards him, And I do have to be honest, Ludwig did kind of bitch out here, and that is kind of annoying to see from a creator that you kind of like, which I kind of like Ludwig. I don't know why he bitched out, other than the fact that he loves Hassan and doesn't really want to upset him. They have a mutual relationship outside of streaming, like his girlfriend is on his podcast, so it's kind of, he's in a sticky situation here. He kind of doesn't have to apologize to the level that he did, but he chose to anyway to maintain the relationship.
Ludwig is anything but negative towards Hassan in these clips. He's extremely soft on him. Yeah, he pokes a little bit of fun, but he shows the full context, and that's that. He was extremely fair.
As a streamer myself for almost 6 years now, on how hard it really is. I'm kidding. I would look. I just.
Oh God, it's such a fake fucking thing to do. Using someone who you're friends with, like being maliciously clipped out of context to be like, I'm actually one of the good content creators. Like, it's like no different than what Muda did. You show the context though. It doesn't fucking matter that he showed the content.
Why is this on mad? What'd I do? What'd I do?
Yeah, there was absolutely no reason that Ludwig had to apologize there. He did nothing wrong. If you actually watch the Mogul Mail, he so vaguely criticizes Hassan, and he is so much on his side, and that's giving more credit to the video than Hassan actually gave to it by not watching it and then giving his full opinion on a video that he did not watch. So that's kind of where we're at. I think Ludwig should not have apologized nor have taken down the video and re-uploaded it and acted like he had a different opinion, and he also reframed it as if that he didn't take it down because of Hassan, which he directly took it down because of Hassan's reaction live on stream. You watched him do it. He went up there, he said like, oh, that's how you switch a video, that's how you act on the fly, and I think he really just cannot handle the fact that he will get criticism for some things.
And this is like the end of the world.
Oh, well, I mean, shit, if that's the deal, I'll just fucking pull him out of the thumbnail, and then I feel like it doesn't really...
Please take my offering.
That's a change on the fly, baby.
Delete the video. We can't have that. You cannot be mad at some picture. New video, new take, okay. He called it a re-upload, but it was a new take the next video. Oh, and to explain why he had to re-record the video, instead of saying that he has to fix his wording for Hassan, he decides to blame drama commentators instead. It's fucking hilarious.
I was just being used in a proxy war for people who don't like Hassan. Why the fuck am I being used for that?
Now, I'm no mind reader. I don't know his intentions, but it might have something to do with the fact that he organizes a lot of streamer events, that his, girlfriend runs the streamer awards and has a podcast with Hassan.
So Cameron seems to think he wants to do it because he organizes streamer events. I think it's solely because his girlfriend is on his podcast and they are friends. I think a lot of people don't understand what it's like to have friends in a streaming world. You have to maintain a balance that's really difficult when you are saying things publicly versus when you're saying them privately. If I was Ludwig in that situation, I'd be like, oh, if Hassan's really mad, he can DM me and tell me to take it down. That's what I would say, because that's a very valid response. If he's actually mad and actually upset, it hurt his feelings, you don't want to hurt your friend's feelings. You can take the video down. But if he's not going to give you the credit of watching the full video, I don't know why you would ever take it down. So one criticism that I myself don't understand too much, I'm not familiar with, is the adpocalypse. I really have no idea what it's about or what even happened. There was a huge tanking in ads on Twitch, and it was because of criticisms from Hassan and Asmongold both, and I'm not too familiar with it, so I really have no idea. I'm gonna research it a little bit, but I don't think it's too bad.
For context, last year, the Twitch adpocalypse started after many viewers, and notably Dan Saltman, pushed for Twitch to stop upholding double standards against creators. This was after a bunch of clips of Hassan and his orbiters resurfaced of them saying anti-Semitic remarks disguised as anti-Zionist remarks without punishment. This led to a campaign of viewers led by Dan Saltman to email a bunch of advertisers over Hassan's behavior to pull ads from Twitch, and it worked.
Where did the advertisers go? Do they hate Twitch all of a sudden? Well, the genesis of this, as far as I can tell, is when Asmon got banned off of Twitch. Where people are like, okay, you ban Asmon for saying this thing about Palestinian people, but, what about this person saying this thing about this people? Hassan is blaming Asmongold for the adpocalypse, for teaming up with people who he says, and Asmon is
looking at me and blaming me. I want to say you're welcome.
Taking blame himself and probably talking about DEI again for the 100th time.
So obviously Ludwig hates Asmongold or strongly dislikes him for his racist behavior and is generating a very toxic and harmful community, and I don't blame him. I think Asmongold is much worse than Hassan, and Hassan, as bad as he is not as bad as Asmongold, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. You can disagree with that. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, as I'm sure you can see, he kind of goes over Ludwig's whole career and nitpicks really small things to kind of discredit his reputation, which I think is super disingenuous to do because it does just defeat the purpose of a content cop. Like, I don't think iDubbbz ever really picked up such small little critiques and acted as if they were career ending. I don't think this is really the purpose of a content cop. But anyways, he goes on to talk about the whole Mango situation, which I already made a video on. I can link it in the description. It was pretty bad. It was Mango basically came, a very prevalent Smash Bros player came and went to Ludwig's event where they were drinking, and this guy has a real problem with alcohol, so he goes on the stream. He makes a fool out of himself, and he sexually harasses people, and a lot of people are acting like Ludwig throwing the event is enabling him.
You killed Mango? Not even a little bit. I don't know if you're meaning or genuine. I feel zero guilt. I don't feel guilty at all. I think this is his own actions because he's his own man. He's an adult man.
And there's the fucking problem. I feel no guilt. This is not my fault. I beg your pardon? You shouldn't have invited him to the event. And yeah, the onus is on him to drink responsibly, of course. But you know he's not gonna do that. That's like putting Casey trying to ton of weed and say, no, no, no. That's like putting train wrecks in a casino and saying, no, 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 no.
Am I crazy for thinking neither of those examples are that bad? Like, alcohol is much worse than weed, so if he made a comparison to alcohol, I would have understood a little more, but weed I don't think is that bad. Putting a girl in front of weed and her smoking it, I don't think is that bad because the girl has never expressed any notion that she wants to quit. Also, Trainwrecks, he loves to fucking gamble, and he's richer than almost every other streamer on the planet. He's top 3, I think almost 100% he's top 3 richest streamers. So I really don't see a problem with inviting Trainwrecks to go to a casino. I think he does it on his own every day on stream for 12 hours a day, so I really have no idea. But anyways, Tectone responded and kind of jumped on the train to hate on Ludwig because he hates Ludwig for being spineless and never really giving a strong opinion on anything. So Tectone's just a walking ball of hate. I'm not really surprised. I think this is very much what you expect from him.
Ludwig knows exactly why this is happening and who is causing it, but being unable to say why and who for obvious reasons is hilarious. Lud, you're better off not covering a topic if you have to tiptoe around so much to avoid offending friends.
It is crazy how comfortable he is shitting on Asmongold for the same shit that he supports Hassan doing. It is crazy. I actually forgot about all this. Surprisingly. I actually forgot how spineless this shit was.
So Ludwig went on stream and kind of baited everyone and said something along the lines of, let me clear the air, or let's set things straight. And that's really kind of a bait, I believe. I think he heard about the content cop and then just did that to name it, and then didn't even address the content cop at all because I don't think he has to. I don't think anything in this video is career threatening or even that destructive in general. I think it's such a nothing burger of a content cop, and it's a nothing burger of a video in general. I'm just saying content cop to really stress the fact that this is supposed to replicate the things that iDubbbz was doing in the past where he was taking down full careers. The React channel never really got the success they had before. Jinxie never had the success he had before. A lot of them never did. Of course, the content cop kind of faded away when he dropped it on H3H3 and the whole internet kind of split against him and turned on him and hates him now. So I guess he's kind of following that type of content era instead of the old days, which I'm assuming is what he wants to replicate. Anyways, that's about it for today's video. If you enjoyed, you should like and subscribe. Anyways, I'll see ya.